What if the diplomatic and international community got together and pressured China to put together that type of fund to pay out damage? It would be huge. Don't get me wrong, it would be huge. And no one would ever be made whole. And of course, you can't bring 110,000 people back to life. But is in a lawsuit, a civil lawsuit anyway, in a civil lawsuit, the end goal is to change somebody's actions and to make them pay damages, and the damages are usually monetary. China's going to resist all of that. But would they be receptive to a position of casting and accepting a level of blame? Because clearly China violated some World Health rules in terms of how they didn't report what was going on and how they didn't cooperate with people once this information, pieces of the information came out. So if China accepted that and the rest of the world came together as one to push China economically to establish this type of fund, would they do it? I don't know. No one's ever suggested it yet, but if the end state is to make people whole again from the damage they suffered from COVID-19, and China being the main cause of the damage, then that's potentially a viable solution. And then, of course, there's some mitigation to China. For instance, for 6 weeks, President Trump failed in the U.S. response. And so for 6 weeks, Americans were getting ready to die because the country wasn't ready to save them. And that would mitigate China's obligation to our problem or our injury. So, and that's culpable for every country on earth. Every country on earth that failed to act decisively and effectively has some mitigation that China can reach into and say, you failed here. So I'm only 80% liable for what happened. You're 20% liable.